you ready?
Your head's gonna be in that the whole time.
There we go.
When I go, you should just go back to how you were.
Okay, enough for me to.
You're still gonna cover it though.
I'm out of view now.
All right. That's loud. Call the meeting to order. First on the agenda is roll call and disclosure of conflicts.
Chad Selenay,
Present, no conflict.
Stuart Ward,
Present, I do need to recuse myself from agenda item number 4, number 6, and number 9.
Molly Dimmick,
Present with no conflicts.
Crystal Munson.
Present, no conflict.
Perfect. Preliminary business, agenda clarification and approval.
Todd Benson, Planning Director, Bannock County. I would like to make the recommendation that we switch the order of 4 and 5. Hear the variance from setback by Mr. Good, and then take on item number 4, subdivision concept plan, after, due to the fact that you want to recuse yourself, and we'll have both of those recused back to back.
Okay. You guys agree with that?
Yep.
Okay. We have a motion to approve the agenda as revised.
Motion to approve.
Okay. Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Next is approval of the minutes from September 17th.
Just a very short meeting and pretty simple. I didn't see any problems there.
I didn't see anything either. We just used me and Ed that night.
Yeah, it was shortest meeting ever.
Yeah. Okay. So a motion to approve those minutes.
I'll file a motion to approve.
Second.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. All right, we'll go through public hearing. I'll leave this first before we open the public hearing. But we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 public hearing items tonight. This is a scheduled meeting of the Bannock County Planning and Development Council. The Planning Council serves in both a decision-making capacity and an advisory capacity to the Board of County Commissioners. Any decisions made by the Planning Council this evening may be appealed to the County Commissioners within 10 days of the decision. Please call the Office of Planning and Development at 236-7230 prior to the 10-day deadline for instructions regarding an appeal. The hearing procedures will go as follows. A presentation will be made by the applicant with a time limit of 6 minutes. The staff report is presented by Planning and Development staff with no time limit. Public testimony is then given in favor of the proposal, neutral to the proposal, and against the proposal. The applicant may rebut the arguments offered by the opposition with a time limit of 6 minutes. The Planning and Development Council will discuss the hearing subject. They may direct questions to staff, the applicant, or the audience during the stage of the hearing process. The hearing is then closed to oral testimony from the applicant and the audience, and the process is concluded and deliberations will begin. Rules and procedures for public comment are as follows. The hearing is for public comment and is not a question and answer session. Everyone shall exhibit respectful behavior. There should be no booing, hissing, or cheering. Anyone deemed unruly will be escorted out of the building. Sign-up sheet must be filled out to give oral testimony. Only one person may speak at a time and must be recognized by the chairman before speaking. Time cannot be gifted to another person and you'll be given a time limit of 3 minutes. Before you begin your comments, state your name and address for the record. If you're here tonight and you're angry, that's okay, but don't take your anger out on the council members. We are charged by law to keep a clear record of the proceedings, consider the factual testimony, and uphold county and state rules and regulations. Thank you for your courtesy to us and others as we move through this process. Is there anyone that does not understand the procedures?
Yes, I know sheets to work.
There's some right here, and I think there's some out on the table by the bathrooms.
Thanks.
Okay. Okay, so need a motion to open the public hearing.
I'll file the motion, open the public hearing.
Motion second, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, so our first one will be agenda item number 5. Variance from section 327, building bulk and placement standards. John Good requests a variance for side yard setback for a covered awning. The side yard setback is 20 feet. Applicant is proposing 0 side yard setback. The affected property is currently addressed as 131 East Cindy Avenue in Inco, 83245. And we'll be looking at section 540 of the zoning ordinance. Okay, so we have a ton. Okay, John.
Yes. John
Come
Good.
on up.
Yep.
State your name and address, and then we'll start the timer.
John Good, 131 East Cindy Avenue, Inco, Idaho.
Okay. All right, tell us what you're trying to do here.
Well, I'm trying to replace my side awning on my shop that was lost during a fire.
Okay. So the way I understand it was there before, correct?
Yes, correct.
So like all the footing foundation's already there, that's, you're just going right back to the same
Yeah,
footprint.
we-
Sound like a little longer is what you wanted to do.
Yep. We replaced the concrete, the fire destroyed the concrete,
Mm-hmm.
and we're just building it a little bit longer, the length of the shop.
Okay.
It was like, it's like 15 feet longer now than it was.
Yep, gotcha. On your existing building, I saw on, there's a plan or whatever you submitted that was 15 foot from the property line, but it's a 20-foot setback, so did you have a variance for that building, or?
Yes,
Okay.
yep.
Gotcha.
Okay. Pretty straightforward.
Mm-hmm.
And I assume you've seen the recommended conditions that staff, in their staff report, they have 7 recommended conditions on here, looks like.
I have not seen them.
I'll just read them to you. Just wanna make sure you're clear in case we condition all 7 of them that you agree with, okay? Number 1 says the structure shall comply with applicable fire separation and building code requirements for walls located on or near the property line, including fire-rated wall construction and restrictions on window and door openings. Number 2, no windows, vents, or other wall openings shall be permitted within the 0 lot line wall. Number 3, Jackson Creek Fire District review and approval shall be required prior to issuance of a building permit. Number 4, roof, eaves, gutters, and downspouts shall not encroach over the property line unless an easement or written consent from the adjacent property owner is provided and recorded. Number 5, no structure or footing shall encroach across the property line. Number 6, an engineered drainage plan shall be submitted and approved by the county engineer, ensuring that no runoff from roofs or impervious surfaces flows onto the adjacent properties. And number 7, a privacy fence or landscaping buffer shall be required along the property line to mitigate visual or privacy impacts to the neighboring property. Did I read those too fast?
Sorry.
Do you understand all those?
Yes.
You're good with all of them?
Well, it ain't getting no wall, no outer wall for fire rating.
Okay.
Just a carport, right?
Yeah, that's all it is.
But if you recommend the fireproof wall on that side, I mean, it's not a problem.
This, for clarification, Council, Paul Jensen, Planning Director, relative to condition one, any structural element, meaning the beams and the posts to hold the roof of the lean-to will be required to be fire rated construction. So that's fairly simple to get a 1 hour fire rating, John. 1 layer of 5/8 type X gypsum board on all sides of the posts and the beam. So
Yeah.
we'll work through that during the building permit application, should this application be approved.
Okay.
Okay. So no other worries on that one?
No.
Okay.
I have a concern on number 6, I guess for the staff, but, so if it's right on the property line, there, how can it possibly have no runoff go onto the adjacent property?
You'll be required to install gutter and downspout and then figure out a way.
So, but if the building's on the property line already, then now the gutter and downspouts will encroach on that, so we would need a written letter from the adjacent owner.
I can do that, but the downspouts are gonna be routed back to my property. On my side of the property of the retaining wall.
Okay.
John, what's the width of that retaining wall? Josh, 8 inch,
It's
12
8
inch,
inches.
10 inch?
8 inch.
8 inch, okay.
Yeah, and then the berths were all 10 inch on center through there, and then there was a 4-foot footing under it.
Assuming that that is approved and you were to move forward with this, I'm assuming you'd use a 4x4 post, set it to the interior side.
We're
Gutters and
actually doing-
downspouts could be put on the face of the posts, approximately 8 inches total depth, so that you are within the property line, etc. So we can work through that issue, council,
Okay.
when it comes to construction.
Mhm.
Just so that you're aware, I'm aware of the property from when he lost it in a fire,
Uh-huh.
and have been on site and know the retaining wall and the setbacks and the previous variance. Should this be granted, we can work through the details to meet code compliance with the goods.
Okay. Thank you.
And my question is the privacy fence or landscaping buffer, because I wasn't sure what, there was no space, what that would look like. It sounds like they can work through that.
Yeah.
John, can you address that relative to your property, your neighbor to the other side of the property, and their disposition about how this is gonna go back together and how it used to be? Could you share any testimony that way, please?
He's not worried about it. There's no place to put a fence. You know, the retaining wall is right on the property line. And so, he's not worried about anything, is what he told me.
Question for recommendation for privacy fence. There's no space. Required by
We can maybe talk about that when we deliberate.
My property's about 4 feet, the retaining wall's about 4 feet higher than his property.
Oh, okay.
Because we're on a hill.
So you're higher than.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is it like a foundation kind of a wall, or is it
Yeah.
brick or block or
Concrete.
concrete poured
Yeah,
foundation?
retaining wall.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Before the wall was put in, dirt was sloughing off into his property, so
Yeah.
that's why we did what we did.
There was also a big dugway like this underneath where that awning was. All the water originally come down and actually went into Al's property.
Yeah, big pool, big swimming pool
A
maybe.
lot of water in there, and ever since we did what we did with the retaining wall, we've
Resolved that.
retained 99% of the water flowing onto the neighbor's property.
Gotcha.
Okay. Any other questions for that, Kim? No? Okay. Thank you.
Yep, thank you.
zoning planner, do you guys have any additional questions regarding the staff report?
The one condition, number 7, about, Crystal touched on that, about privacy fence or something. I don't know if that's, it doesn't sound like it's possible. So, I guess maybe, why is that in there, that condition?
Excuse me, Council, Hal Jensen, Planning Director. Relative to a privacy fence, Mr. Good has the opportunity to build a screen wall between the posts and how that screen wall goes together. It doesn't need to be a full wall. It could be something as simple as offset and staggered fencing material along the top, from the top of the concrete foundation wall up 4 feet, 6 feet, 5.
Gotcha.
So it creates a screen of anything that Mr. Good would be parking along that side from, call it visual clutter from the adjoining neighbor.
Yeah, so just something simple would
Yeah.
suffice. It doesn't
Something
have to
very
be-
simple.
Yeah,
Okay.
okay.
Thank you for clarifying.
I don't have any other questions, so, okay.
Any questions, Molly? You're kind of quiet over there.
The staff report, part C, it says the applicant has stated that a rain gutter and snow blockers will be installed. Just curious what the snow blocker looks like, what that is.
On the roof,
Yeah,
on
maybe
the
that's a
double roof,
question.
just so the snow can't slide off the roof
Just
onto
a
his
vertical
property,
part.
yeah, it holds it on the roof.
Thank you.
Any other questions? No? Okay. We'll open it to public testimony, I guess. Do we have anybody that wants to speak in favor? No?
Favor, like, as a go? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Nobody, you haven't received any
Nobody's-
papers for neutral or opposed? Okay. Alright. Anything else you need to add or want to add?
No, just that it was existing before the fire and I'm trying to replace it now.
Okay. Perfect. Alright, we'll go through our deliberations then. Make sure I got the right. Okay. Are you typing or am I just writing?
You can do both.
I'm good either way. I just need to know how clear I am
5
to write.
seconds.
Okay. Number 1, the applicant has shown there is not a reasonable alternative. This is based on,
Existing footprint of the existing building before the fire, something like that.
existing footprint of previous structure. Does that work? And replacement in the same location. Okay. Number 2,
Wait, Stuart,
sorry.
what is it?
I have, it's based on the existing footprint of the previous structure, and it's a replacement in the same location.
Okay,
Number 2, the variance is not in conflict with the public interest.
Based on no public comment.
No comments in opposition. And
opposition,
and based on applicant testimony.
okay.
Number 3, the variance will not adversely affect the adjacent property. Based on
Applicant stated that the neighbor was in favor. I would like to add a condition when we get there to have a letter or something put the records from the neighbor.
Say the applicant testimony.
Stated that the adjacent property owner was in favor and no problems.
Yeah.
Provided, recommendations, like the drought and the snow.
The snow blocker.
Can we reference the
And then,
regulations?
and based on conditions. What do you have written down?
This is based on the statement of the adjacent property owner who is in favor of this variance.
And based on conditions. You okay if I move on?
Hold on,
Hold on a second.
so what was the last one, based on conditions?
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay. Number 4, if the variance is not granted, the applicant will suffer undue hardship caused by the physical characteristics of the site. It's based on,
Pretty close to number 1, the same thing, with the same footprint.
yeah, this is a replacement of a previous structure in the same location. Replacement of previous structure in the same location. Yeah, I think that works. Did you get that, Mark?
yeah,
Okay. And then conditions. I think the letter's in there, right?
I didn't see a letter, unless I missed it.
The number 4 says unless an easement or nothing can encroach unless it's approved by the neighbor, is what it says. That's what number 4 says. You wanna do all 7?
Just going back to it here, hang on. There we go.
I'm kind of struggling with number 7, especially if the neighbor doesn't have an issue with it.
As far as requiring that of him,
What they can in the future. Which they never could in the future.
Right.
That's true.
I think we could maybe strike 7, but require a letter from the neighbor that with the setback is zero setback, everything's good there, he's okay with it.
Okay.
Does that kind of make sense?
Mm-hmm.
And I
So
think the
strike-
properties being at different grades kind of helps too, because it's not like it's window to window.
Right. Just strike 7 completely, is what you're thinking?
Is that kind of what you're thinking, Bill?
If you guys agree.
So number 7 would be
Letter of approval from the adjacent neighbor.
And it don't matter to us if we got to do, you know, a full fireproof wall across there where there's no visible into it, I mean, well, we can do that too, it's not a problem.
number 7.
What'd you say, Kristen?
Oh, I just, it was for reasons. I didn't disagree with that, but.
If they're okay doing it, then what do you think? We can,
You decide.
I'm not against it.
I guess.
I think I would just change the wording of it instead of a privacy fence or landscape buffer, because there's not a lot of room there, just
There's no
maybe a
landscape buffer.
visual buffer
There.
or something like that, or a buffer.
I like that, because it provides a little more
Something.
freedom.
Because then they can do whatever they need to visually buffer that. Does that make sense? So we might just reword that one.
Yeah. And then add a number 8 still.
And then the letter still. Okay. All right. So with,
So we're leaving number 7?
Modify.
I think we're gonna modify it a little, slightly.
Okay.
Okay, so the other first sentence, just a privacy buffer shall be required instead of privacy fence or landscaping buffer. Just change it, a privacy buffer shall be
Yeah.
required.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Replace the fence with buffer.
Or landscaping. Just let it go for privacy buffer.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And take off landscaping.
I think we're ready for a motion.
Mark, did you get to the added number 8 though?
Number 8, we'll need a letter of approval from adjacent property.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And should we say that the approval letter from the neighbor needs to in some way cite the application or the 8 conditions so that there's understanding that he has access to that material? Like that, word it in some way that the neighbor acknowledges and agrees with the 7 or 8 conditions.
That would be,
Require that the letter include that, so that we know he's been provided the conditions.
To reference the.
that's how we word it, I guess.
Yeah.
To reference the conditions.
Yeah, somebody
I would say we have to reference the variance setback and conditions.
How do we want to word that? If it's approval, under the adjacent owner, approval letter of 1 through 7 in staff's conditions or whatnot, how do you word that?
I don't know how you do that here.
Idea? To word it?
Not any better than I already said.
Stuart,
Yeah.
so we'll need a letter of approval from the adjacent property owner to reference the variance setbacks and conditions.
Perfect.
That works. Okay. Okay, so we just need a motion.
I will do the motion.
Second?
All in
Yeah,
You're reading.
you're all right.
He's gotta read the motion.
Yeah. Based on the record of discussion this evening, I move to approve the request by John R. Good requesting a variance for a 0-foot side yard setback as described in the application materials, as supplemented with additional information attached in the staff report according to testimony received, and to adopt the proposed findings and order for signature by the chair or vice chair with the following conditions of approval. Do I need to read all the conditions, or can I say 1 through 7 of the staff's conditions? Do we need to read through them all?
Do you want me to read
I
it?
think we need to read them, but Marge can read them for us.
Okay.
Okay. Condition 1, the structure shall comply with applicable fire separation and building code requirements for walls located on or near the property line, including fire-rated wall construction and restrictions on window and door openings. 2, no windows, vents, or other wall openings shall be permitted within the 0 lot line wall. 3, Jackson Creek Fire District review and approval shall be required prior to issuance of a building permit. 4, roof eaves, gutters, and downspouts shall not encroach over the property line unless an easement or written consent from the adjacent property owner is approved and recorded. 5, no structure or footing shall encroach across the property line. 6, an engineered drainage plan shall be submitted and approved by the county engineer, ensuring that no runoff from roofs or impervious surfaces flows onto adjacent properties. 7, a privacy buffer shall be required along the property line to mitigate visual or privacy impacts to the neighboring property. 8, we'll need a letter of approval from the adjacent property owner to reference the variance setbacks and conditions.
Second.
Motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Chad Selenite,
Yes?
Stuart Ward,
Yes.
Molly Dimick,
Yes.
Crystal Mattson.
Yes.
Okay, motion carries 4-0.
Thank you.
Good, thank you so much. You're welcome to stay, or you can.
We're done.
You're done, yep. You can leave.
All right. There's a couple beers waiting at home for me.
Thank you for your time. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Al.
Okay. Back to 4 and 6, I will need to designate one of you guys as temporary chair. You want me to look this way?
Yeah, I'll give it a shot.
You want to do it? Okay.
Might be a little messy, but I'll try, so. So this is agenda item number 4, subdivision concept plan, Cedar Ridge Estates. Stuart, let's hear what you got.
Okay. Stuart Ward with Dioptra, 4880 Cloverdale and Chubbuck, representing the owner and applicant. This is a concept plan for a 10-lot subdivision, or 11 lot subdivision off a 2.5 mile and I-15, 10 buildable lots and 1 open space lot. We do plan for Dundee Drive to be a public road. All the lots will be served with individual wells and septics. We did see the letter from IDWR and are currently working with them on a resolution there. So, for irrigation. There was one condition that a detailed base flood elevation study be provided, which is in the packet. So I think, condition number 14 can come off. easements adjacent to the road, and the road will be built to county standards. There are some existing easements that aren't shown on the concept plan, but we will add them to the preliminary plat that are mostly on the west boundary line. The existing house and barn that are sitting there, that's a separate lot, that will be outside the subdivision. Trying to think if there's anything else major. I think that was it. If you have any questions, we'll be happy to answer them.
I do have a couple of questions. You addressed, two of them just there. Number 14 on about the elevation study. And then the IDWR, that was another question I had. So that's in the process, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So is there currently irrigation rights on this property?
There's not. There is a large well that was used, for the feedlot that we're working with IDWR to figure out irrigation rights.
Yeah, yeah, I'll break that up.
Instead of ag rights.
Yeah, okay.
To figure that out, so.
And then the other question would be condition number 11 about the DEQ. They're stating the high levels of nitrates.
Yeah, so when we get through a little bit further along, we'll have to do test pits for percolation and stuff, and at that point, we'll work with DEQ and the health department on what
Design a septic system, whatever it may be, if it's individual or collective or something.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay. That was my questions right there.
Okay.
Anybody else? You got a question?
I think so.
One other thing I did want to mention though is condition number 13, I believe is a duplicate of 6 and 7. Because 6 talks about the cul-de-sac radius, 7 talks about the utility easement, and then 13 just states
Basically,
that same thing.
sums
again.
both 6 and 7 up in
Yeah.
one, right?
Yeah. So.
Okay. Nothing? Do I need to go to the staff or anything? Staff?
Elise Foster subdivision planner, condition number 14 also talks about, the plat depicting what the study shows on there, so that's why that is on there as well, is to actually relay that information onto the plat. He is correct, 6 and 7 are a duplication of 13, and then this is our first subdivision since, state law has passed in July about the water rights.
Yeah, more.
So just be clear that based on that new law, there is a possibility, based on IDWR's comments, that there will be no landscaping on these developments. And that's just something you may wanna look at and know as we're moving forward.
Yeah, gotcha. Okay. Any questions for staff, you guys, anything? Okay. Thanks, Dirk.
Public comments in favor?
Yeah, I think we do, so we have, public comments. I guess is there anybody, I would say, against? That wanna speak about this?
We need to get in favor.
Not necessarily against, but I have a couple of comments.
Did you fill out a form?
I have it right here.
Yeah, if you could bring that up.
Now, I don't know what I'm doing, so.
So a neutral, what do we do first, neutral?
Favor, neutral, against.
Okay, favor, so I'll go in that order, we still need your papers, so. Okay, so in in favor? I don't have a paper for anybody in favor. Nobody? Okay, a neutral we have, Gary Gibson.
I need to come over here.
Yeah, you come up here, state your name and
I
address.
haven't been to many of these, so
No, that's
I
all
need
right.
some direction.
I'm a rookie trying to lead this here, so, yeah.
Can I ask questions, or do I just have to make it in a form of a
Name
statement?
and address first.
Gary Gibson,
Uh,
11041 West, 2.5 Mile Road,
mhm.
Pocatello, 83202.
Okay, your time starts 3 minutes, 3 minutes. So,
Before, can you tell me before my time starts? Can I ask questions, or do I make comments?
comments, tell us why you are neutral, and if you can,
Well, we are landowners that are adjacent to this property, and we have a couple of concerns, and one is just a clarification. We've been told since we bought the property that property can only be sold in increments of, or plots of 5 acres or less. Has there been a zoning change that has allowed these 1 acre plots to take place on these adjacent properties? I don't know how to state that, or.
from what I believe, real quick, residential,
Currently listed
or
as
multiple use. I don't have an answer there for you.
Elise Foster subdivision planner, multiple use acts as a chameleon, and they have chose to designate this as residential suburban. Residential suburban, you can choose to do an open space subdivision based on where this one is located. And with an open space subdivision, you can get a density of 1 dwelling per acre, with half of the property being dedicated to open space. So that is what is being developed. If you chose not to do an open space subdivision, it would be the 5 acre lots.
So that's something I personally would need to check through maybe your office to see
Right.
what. The other is, I just heard the last part on, down the road, some easements to the west of this, and I'm trying to figure out what we're talking about there, because I'm to the west of it.
Get on this here.
Elise Foster subdivision
Thank
planner. So there was previously a record of survey done on the entire property to include the house that is not within the plat. When that minor land division was completed, there were found to be some easements along that west property line. The surveyor will need to do some research and propose any vacations of easements if they choose to do so. There was, if I recall correctly, some type of an well easement or irrigation easement that ran around that, ran along that property line. There was also an access easement created along there, which they could vacate if they chose to, but it was only for these parcels. It was not for neighboring parcels.
Thank you. And then just to clarify for me, the west side of that is actually the open space section that's proposed, right?
No, it would run along 7 and 8, lot 7 and 8, and the
Okay,
house.
on this thing. Okay.
See, our property, that circle there, I'm assuming is what they drive around.
That will be the
And
cul-de-sac.
our property is along that horizontal line there.
Correct.
So when he mentioned easements later on down the road, that makes me wonder, what are we talking about here? Because that's our property that's to the west of that circle and that horizontal line.
Correct. So there are some existing easements that may be proposed to be vacated on the next step, that were created in the past. One was some type of a water irrigation easement. The other one was an access easement, but not to access your property, to still access this development.
Okay.
Does
So
that
we're not talking about opening up a fence up and coming onto this.
No, that would not be the case.
So that was our 3
Yeah,
minutes.
that was your time. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you all.
Okay, I have an opposed application, Ed Golden. Your name and address, please.
Ed Golden, 11057, 2.5 Mile Road.
Okay. You start this time. know what you're opposing.
Oh, well, this is, we just wondered about the properties that are existing up there, and what the water rights are gonna, not water rights, there's gonna be enough water to supply that housing area. All the houses on, 2.5 mile road would be on the same side as this property that's being built on, have problems with water. So we've got, 1, 2, 3, 4, I know of 5 houses that have hot water all the time up there. Is that gonna be a problem? When it reaches a certain temperature by the law, the well has to be shut off.
That would be something with the IDWR, not so much us, but it would be with the IDWR.
Okay.
That would have to deem that if the water is, if there's enough of it, and whatever kind it is, or,
Yep.
you know.
Because the existing house up there all got hot water, and that's not good. And we drilled the well, and the well, because our water was too hot, we had to re-drill, we only got down to 200 feet, getting 2 gallons a minute. No, it wasn't that much thick.
I don't know.
You know, it was just trickling. It took 2 days to fill up our, I had to put in holding tanks for water. So that could be a problem for the other people, and then they might pull from our water. Another house, it's no problem. So,
And that would, at the next stage, I'm sure the IDWR will be involved, because they're talking about the irrigation rights, and, if they're gonna be dry yards or whatnot, just for household use water, that's yet to be determined, I think, so.
there's also our cheating well just off that property a ways too. That's my concern.
Thank you.
So this isn't about for or against, but in the first group here, you all read those 7 things.
Yeah.
Could you read those 14 things so we could hear what those are?
We can do that. Remember, this is a concept stage, so this is,
Right.
there's a long ways to go on this. Yeah, 13 of them.
Well, you can summarize them if you want to, just so we know.
There's 13 of them, so there's a lot of them. You'll actually hear them here shortly.
Okay.
Yeah, so when we do our deliberations, so
Okay.
these will go into, potentially to our conditions anyways, so.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Any other public comment, anybody? Stuart, you got anything else you wanna say?
I'll just clarify a couple things. Which I think staff addressed most of the concerns with the easements, from Mr. Gibson, but there's an access and utility easement that was created as part of that previous subdivision survey that went from 2.5 miles down that property line and then in, like, back towards the east, that will be, vacated because we're aligning that road. I believe there's an existing, power line easement on the south side of this property as well. And, I think there's another irrigation line easement, on that west property line. But all those easements are on our property, and we're not proposing to push that road any further west, than that cul-de-sac. So, unless the neighbors are okay with it and we push it through, but it sounds like they're not, so. But we wouldn't do any improvements on any adjacent properties without permission, so just wanna make sure that's clear for everybody. And then, Mr. Bolden talked about the water and the well pressures and stuff, and that is good to know. Domestic wells are permitted no matter what. The major concern with IDWR is the irrigation well, or irrigation rights.
Yeah.
So, that's what we're working through with them, is just the irrigation side of it, not the domestic side.
It would be water usage, that's why I kinda said the IDWR, 'cause your household's gonna use generally a lot less water than trying to water an acre of grass.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yep, yep, so, okay, that's all I wanted to add and clarify, so.
Okay, thank you. Where we at? We had our findings? Anything else from staff or anything?
I have a quick question about condition number 3. Provide written comments from North Bannock Fire District at preliminary plat. Are those existing comments?
There were comments, I believe, provided on this one at pre-development. But where this is moving further along, I just wanted to see if council wanted to verify if fire district needed a fire tank out there, or if they have one close enough that it's not a concern at this time.
Yeah, I was curious if those were existing comments or we'll be seeking them, especially with not being able to irrigate grass.
Right,
Yeah,
seeking
fire.
them is what that intent is for
Okay.
that.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Crystal, anything? Yeah. I don't have any more. We'll go fine. Get the, a lot of info to go through. Margin, we could go through these. Will you type? I'm probably not gonna write them, so.
I can type it.
Okay, you guys ready for fighting? Okay, number 1, the proposed tentative plan is in conformance with the Bannock County Comprehensive Plan, is in conformance with applicable provisions of this ordinance, other county ordinances, and Idaho code. What do you think about that?
Open to the staff report. The staff report did include some applicable goals and policies that we could cite in favor of that.
Is that from the comprehensive plan?
Yes. On page 19 of our packet of the staff report. So it's the things to jump on. Conformance with comprehensive plan, and then we cited some specific ones.
Okay, so in conformance, so this will be based on goal 1.2 and the comprehensive plan, a balance of urban and rural amenities to attract families. And goal in the comprehensive plan 2.2, development that fosters economic growth while maintaining the rural character of the county. Does that sound good, Brett? Crystal? You got that, Mark?
Yes. So it's based on goal 1.2, which is the balance of urban and rural amenities to attract families, and goal 2.2, which is development that fosters economic growth while maintaining the rural character of the county.
And we should probably also cite the ordinances that it aligns with. Charles, for that. Mhm.
Okay.
So, as proposed, it follows the residential suburban requirements in the Bannock County zoning ordinance. So, that suffice.
Yeah, I think so, unless we gotta find the actual ordinance.
And the Bannock County zoning ordinance. Residential. Okay. Got it.
Okay, I think we're good. Number 2, the proposed roads and bridges are designed and constructed according to section 402 of the subdivision ordinance. A design deviation.
Was not requested.
Was not requested and was not granted to equal or exceed these standards for its purpose. So the proposed, that would be 402 and the roads, this is what you were talking about, the 402.
The design deviation is not requested, so we don't need to do all of that.
Not, what's that?
You don't have to reference it because it's already within the statement.
Well, so the proposed roads and bridges are designed and they're not constructed according to section 402 of the subdivision. I think that was coming back to number 14 it was?
13 for conditions.
13 on conditions. Can we put something like reference to number 13 on conditions? Oh.
We're on number 2, right?
Yeah.
The proposed partitioning of land does not prohibit the extension of dedicated streets or roads?
Well, number 2, the proposed roads and bridges are designed and constructed according to section 402 of the subdivision ordinance. A design deviation was not requested and was not granted to equal or exceed these standards for its purpose.
So that's the answer for which one?
For some reason.
Is it for this one? And then it's just that one.
This is the last one for you. Right.
Just go
There's
ahead
a lot of
and
it.
put 2 spaces in G for proposed roads and bridges. Put right there at the front, where that E is. Proposed THE. There you go. Proposed roads and bridges are designed and constructed.
Sorry. And that was for that. 2. Okay,
And then we don't need to go through 1 through 5 on the 2.
No,
right?
because the design deviation was
Yes.
not requested.
Okay.
So you move to 3.
Yep,
Chad.
number 3, yep. Number 3, the proposed partitioning of land does not prohibit the extension of dedicated streets or roads. I would say because it's,
Within the property.
it's within the development off an existing public road. Any roads are within the proposed development with access off a public road.
say that again, Chad?
Before you go there, Before you go there, Chad?
Yeah.
Would you ask Mr. Gibson what his disposition is relative to development approaching his property?
Mr. Gibson,
Yes, sir.
did you hear that question?
Sort of, yes. What's my disposition in relation to this?
About development that's,
Would
will
you
be encroaching onto
Would you
your
be
property.
amenable to having a road come and touch your property?
Well, that's what I was talking about a while ago. I don't,
Just simple question, would you be amenable to having that road extend to your property line?
So this cul-de-sac would be here, that's what he's asking. It would touch right there.
Yes or no?
instead of,
Yes or no?
give me a chance to look at this, man.
Oh,
I don't know anything about all this. I'm trying to figure it out myself. So you're saying move the cul-de-sac?
Push it this way so it would touch the edge of your property. That's what he's asking.
for future development to continue through your property.
If you chose to subdivide
It
your
may be
property.
sold or
Well, that's not where our
whatnot.
house is, we're not, you know, we're not gonna,
Okay,
but I think that's where our house is, I can't really tell, exactly where our house is.
You had a picture of the houses there, well,
Yeah.
you know.
So that cul-de-sac would come about there, correct, Stuart?
Pretty close, yeah.
Yeah, and our house is here. So you're talking about it being.
It would be about there, maybe down just a little bit, but
Well, if there's a cul-de-sac there, there would be a less chance of the house, back of the house being right there, wouldn't it? So, we have a problem. I don't have a problem. We don't have a problem. Based on where it is in relation to their house.
So, back to 3, the proposed partitioning of land does not prohibit the extension of dedicated streets or roads. How do we word that? I already said it like 2 times. 3
there are
times.
no dedicated streets existing on the west or south of the parcel at this time.
And the only proposed access would be off of existing public road. Thank you.
There are no dedicated streets existing on the west or south.
Property. And all access would be from an existing dedicated road.
Dedicated road. Okay,
Good. Anything you guys good? Okay, number 4, the proposed partitioning will not conflict with legally established easements or access within or adjacent to the proposed land. Maybe it's a will, because they said like it had some easements that needed to be addressed still. Didn't you say that, Stuart?
will not, you can put in there that applicant has testified that existing easements will be vacated and new easements created for utilities, access, etc.
So proposed partitioning will not conflict with legally established easements or access within or adjacent to the proposed land partition.
So, can I ask a clarifying question there? When you say created, how, does that mean within the current footprint of the existing easements?
Any existing easements have been testified to be vacated, and new easements will be created to take their place.
Okay, so they've already been vacated with?
No, they will be vacated through this process.
Yeah, through this process.
As we go through preliminary plat, final plat, etc., there will be other aspects that will take place.
So applicant has stated that existing easements will be vacated and replaced with updated easements.
To reflect this development.
Yeah. To reflect this development. You got it?
Yeah.
Okay. Number 5, the blocks of lots are located and laid out to properly relate to adjoining or nearby lot or parcel lines, utilities, streets, or other existing or planned facilities. Lots are laid out with an open space. Something?
Per the subdivision ordinance. Requirements.
Nearby lot or parcel line. Utilities, streets. So the blocks are located and laid out to properly relate to adjoining a nearby lot or parcel lines, utilities, streets, or other existing, laid out. Anything? Crystal, got anything? Give me some words.
To preserve the natural drainage ways.
There you go.
To preserve the natural drainage. It is, they'll go down to that whole kind of.
They're in the open space.
On the open space.
That's correct.
Yeah, they are, lots are located to, preserve the natural topography, wow.
Here's what I have. Lots are located and laid out with open space per the subdivision ordinance to preserve the natural drainage.
That's great, you put all that together, that's me rambling over here. Okay. You guys good with that one?
Yeah.
Right. Number 6. The proposed property is physically suitable for the type and proposed density of development and does conform to existing zone standards. It is proposed, once again, almost number 5, the lots are laid out to suitable for the natural drainage of the property.
The proposed density of the development reflects the standards of an open space
Yeah,
subdivision
an open space
in the
subdivision.
residential suburban zone.
Okay, so, yep, and proposed density reflects an open space,
Meets minimum design standards.
minimum design subdivision or open space subdivision ordinances.
Yep.
I just copied number 5, okay, hold on. And it does conform.
Okay, proposed subdivision. Meets the minimum standards.
That's it?
Of an open space subdivision in the RS zone. That help?
Yeah.
Okay.
Jack, before you move forward, I'll have Lauren read number 6 back to you.
Yeah.
The residential rule.
Residential suburban.
Okay, so number 6, lots are located and laid out with open space per the subdivision ordinance to preserve the natural drainage. The proposed subdivision meets the minimum standards of an open space division in the residential zone, residential suburban zone.
Okay, yeah.
And back to conditions.
Well, I'm sorry,
And back to conditions.
back to conditions, can we do that in our motion?
Oh, can
Yeah, unless you wanna discuss any of them.
Oh, I thought we, strike 13. Is that was a duplicate. On
Okay.
6 and 7.
Okay,
I would strike 6 and 7 and keep 13.
The 13 bundles both of them, so it's just, okay, so strike 6 and 7 from there.
hold on. And on number 8, there's multiple easements through the property, but the application says they're only proposing to vacate 2 of them. So can number 8 be more specific to those 2 easements, which I think are the 90-foot access and public utility easement? Because there's also an irrigation easement that goes through there, so just to clarify which easements.
I think the irrigation is still up in the air about what's going on.
So we're striking 6 and 7?
There is a access easement and a utility easement that they will be proposing to vacate. The irrigation easement, I believe, is remaining the same at this time, but
For
you
now, yeah.
could leave it vague so that they can choose which ones they're vacating and address that at preliminary plat.
Kind of makes sense, kind of leave it how it is.
Yeah, but I might need to abstain and vote if it's not racist.
Okay, well, let's get it more specific.
Can I say something? Are you okay with that? I think leaving it vague is ideal, because if we push the cul-de-sac to that west property line, that may affect how many easements we vacate. And the irrigation easement that's there, it exists, but I don't know if we can vacate it. If we can, we will, but I don't know that we can. So leaving it vague is ideal, because we're concept, we don't know exactly which ones we have to vacate to complete the project.
Yeah, like in the preliminary, so they're still under the conditions we could address, and we'll see this again. Unless you have something, how do you want to word it, you know?
Does 2 out of 3 count as a majority vote when there's only 3 of us? Yeah, okay.
Correct.
Yep.
Yeah, maybe I should have just confused myself.
Chad? So we're striking 6 and 7 and changing number 8?
We're working on 8, but we are striking 6 and 7. Okay, but trying to work through 8 here. You have them up there?
The conditions right here.
Blood.
Sorry.
So, remember, the
8 was in.
proof of notification of vacant easement shall be provided with the preliminary plat to meet Idaho code.
And for clarity on what Idaho code says there, when you're vacating a utility easement, they have to reach out to utility companies, all utility companies, when it's a blanket utility easement, and send certified mail to them to confirm if they agreed that easement could be vacated and that no utility would be installed within that easement. So that's what they would be doing, is providing that proof that they reached out to those utility companies.
And that's obviously after this, right? After the concept, if you want. But if you still, I think we leave it where it's at for the time being. We need to address the easements, which ones have been vacated or which ones have not. We'll see this again, you know? Crystal, anything from you?
Molly, if it helps, this is standard language and standard policy procedure,
Understood.
and we get more specific when we get to preliminary plat.
If you don't feel good, then it's okay. All right. So I think, yeah, we're gonna keep 8 the same, we're gonna keep it there. So striking 6 and 7,
Okay.
let's keep 8.
Okay.
Then I wondered if an additional condition should be the flood elevation study that was discussed in the staff report. On page 8 of the staff report, it notes a detailed base flood elevation study is required and must be provided to staff.
So that's number 14.
Oh, I was just
Yeah.
on the next
Yeah,
page.
yeah,
So
yeah.
maybe there,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah, that was
Good
one,
call.
yeah, that was one of my questions we had initially, but yeah, it's just sneaks there.
Thank you.
Yeah. You good there? Crystal, anything? Okay.
Only thing I wondered if we wanted to leave it up, the option open for them to be able to take the cul-de-sac all the way to the property line rather than.
I think at this stage of the concept, I think that if it is moved, and that comes back to the easements and all the above, then that will be addressed on the next round. You guys good for a motion?
Do something,
Okay.
give a motion if I can find it.
Page 72.
Ready? Alright, make a motion based on the record and the discussion this evening, I move to approve the request for the Deer Ridge Estates concept plan as described in the application materials as supplemented with additional information attached in the staff report and according to testimony received, and to adopt the proposed findings in order for signature by the chair or vice chair with the following conditions of approval, and that's as outlined.
Marge, could you read those?
Okay,
These are what we were talking about.
okay. Condition 1, all existing structures shall be removed or meet setback requirements. Setback measurements shall be depicted on preliminary plat. 2, subdivision construction plans shall include structures being removed. 3, provide written comments from North Bannock Fire District at preliminary plats. 4, all subsequent plats shall state, all lots shall access directly from Dundee Drive and are restricted from access off of 2.5 Mile Road. 5, all subsequent plats shall state, this subdivision is an area of concern for elevated levels of nitrate. And we're striking 6 and 7. 8, proof of notification to vacate easements shall be provided with preliminary plat to meet Idaho Code 50-1306A. 9, provide locational central mailboxes on the preliminary plat and final plat. 10, provide location of school bus stop on the preliminary plat and final plat. 11, provide written comments from DEQ resolving what method of septic discharge is being approved for this development. 12, proof of irrigation rights shall be provided at preliminary plat. If irrigation rights exist, rights must be distributed to each lot and maintenance addressed within the CCNRs. 13, right-of-way shall be 60 feet wide and shall have a cul-de-sac with a 60-foot radius, a 15-foot wide. Utility easement shall be provided on all sides of the proposed right-of-way, located outside of the right-of-way boundaries. 14, detailed base flood elevation study provided at preliminary plat. All subsequent plats shall depict data from said study.
Thank you. A second for the motion. You can second it, but you don't have to vote yet. Okay. Can I second it?
Yes.
Okay, so I'll second. And then do we vote?
Yep, roll call.
Roll call?
Okay. Molly Dimick,
Abstain.
Do you
Crystal,
wanna abstain or do you wanna vote no?
Abstain.
Okay.
Crystal Matson,
Yes.
and Chad Zellnight.
Yes. Motion passes 2-1. And I think we're done with that one.
We were just discussing here, and Mr. Jensen asked me about the cul-de-sac, and we're looking at it here. And we think that the cul-de-sac may adjoin their property instead of ours.
Not ours.
If we could pull it up and look at
remember that we're the concept plan, and this is still gonna be in the planning development, nothing's been talked about moving that yet.
Where's the property?
There's too much information. That's all right, the next one. Yeah, how's mine? So we are moving to agenda item number 6. Concept plan for, Tom's Hollow.
Okay, we're still in the middle of a meeting,
Yeah,
if you guys
yeah,
can
can we please, you guys?
converse out of the room.
Come and get that.
Are you back to me, Jeff?
Yeah, hang on, let me get there.
I just drafted them.
Okay, agenda item number 6, subdivision concept plan, Tom's Hollow subdivision. Okay. Stuart?
Okay. Stuart Ward with Dioptra, 4880 Philadelphia in Chubbuck, representing the applicant. This is another concept plan for a subdivision, which is just a lot line adjustment, in the Coyote Hollow subdivision, just outside of Lincoln. The client, the owner, he bought lots 3 and 4 of Coyote Hollow, say phase 1. And there's an existing, the previous owners had built a driveway through lot 3 into lot 4. And really the only thing we're changing is that lot line between 3 and 4 to push that driveway completely onto lot 4. Other easements and utilities are all gonna stay in place as they've been built. Pidcock Road is already a dedicated public road. There's a fire suppression tank from that subdivision on lot 3 currently. And lot 4, the new lot 4, lot 4A, has an existing well on it, and I believe they started construction on a house on that lot already too. As part of this, the only other change from the original subdivision is, actually it's already been changed. The open space on lot 4 has been revised previously, but the change is reflected on this. Other than that, it's, like I said, just a lot line adjustment, but because of the ordinance, it's a full replat subdivision process.
Any questions? Stuart? Crystal?
No.
Anybody? Yeah, it's just a minor. Okay, I don't have any questions, pretty cut and dry. Perfect. Was there any public comment on this? Nobody? Staff?
Elise Foster, subdivision planner. Number 1 condition talks about proposed easements, right-of-ways with the measurements and instrument numbers when available. The concern was it's labeled as the public utility easement and slope easement. It's just unclear measurements for these areas to ensure that nobody builds in those areas. So just some clarity is what we're looking for on those measurements to ensure it's clear where those are located.
Stuart, you knew about that? You read these?
I did read them. That one seems a little weird to me, but it's okay.
It's just to clarify, just to,
It's easy.
any questions? Do you have any questions for staff? Crystal, any questions? I don't have any questions either. Let's fly through this one. Are we to findings? Can we do that? We're there? Okay, good. comprehensive plan is in conformance with applicable provisions of this ordinance, other county ordinances, and Idaho code. I think we could say, well, it's already an existing, it's just a lot line adjustment, so it's already an existing, to get to this stage, it already has to be in conformance with the Bannock County Comprehensive and the county ordinances, right? So, I don't know, do we need to, I guess we can do that.
That might be a question for staff. To probably strengthen our position and cite goals.
So we can go here, so let's just go from goal 1.2 from the comprehensive plan. It meets a balance of urban and rural amenities to attract families. And goal 2.2, development that fosters economic growth while maintaining the rural character of the county. And previously plotted lots or something like that, just with a lot line adjustment.
Same thing, but the things of plan, there's just like one more.
What do you want to use over there, or do you want to use it on number one? Let's see what March gives us. Yeah, nothing's really changed.
Do you want me to read, Chuck?
Yeah, if you would, please.
Okay, so it's an already existing subdivision, and it's in conformance with the Bannock County Comprehensive Plan Goals 1 and 2, which states a balance of urban and rural amenities to attract families, and Goal 2.2, which states development that fosters economic growth while maintaining the rural character of the county.
That's great. Thank you. Good with that, Crystal? You good with that? Yeah.
And should we add that it's also in compliance with the zoning ordinance?
I think we'll probably use that down the line here. Does that make sense? Yeah. Like this, so the proposed roads and bridges are designed and constructed according to section 402 of the subdivision ordinance. A design deviation was not requested and was not granted to equal or exceed these standards for its purpose. What's the roadway called there? Because nothing's changed with the existing platted road.
All roads are existing. And no changes have been made.
Woodcock Road.
I'm good, Chad.
Okay. Number 3, the proposed partitioning of land does not prohibit the extension of dedicated streets or roads. Almost a copy and paste from the last one. It's still an existing road, just a lot line adjustment.
No new roads proposed.
Yeah, no new roads proposed.
Okay,
Good. Number 4, the proposed partitioning will not conflict with legally established easements or access within or adjacent to the proposed land partition. A minor lot line adjustment to accommodate an existing driveway.
Did you say a minor lot line
Lot
adjustment?
line adjustment to accommodate an existing driveway.
Okay. I'm good, Chad.
Oh, you're good, yeah. Sorry, I was waiting. Number 5, the blocks of lots are located and laid out to properly relate to adjoining or nearby lot or parcel lines, utilities, streets, or other existing or planned facilities. Minor lot line adjustment between lots 3 and 4, and do not influence any other adjacent lots. Just trying to get through this there.
Okay, Chad, you said a minor lot line adjustment between lots 3 and 4?
Yeah.
And
lots 3 and 4, and do not, whatever the word I used, what's that? Conflict with other adjoining lots.
Okay,
Good? Good. Okay, number 6, the proposed property is physically suitable for the type and proposed density of development and does conform to existing zone standards. A minor lot line adjustment, nothing really changes between 2 lots on already established plats, something like that.
Does not change housing density.
Yeah, it does not change housing density.
okay, I have a minor lot line adjustment and nothing changes between the 2 lots and does not change housing density.
Yeah, sounds good. Sounds good to you? Okay,
Three positions.
all right. Do we need to go, well, we need to go to our motion, right?
Motion?
Yeah.
Ready? Motion based on the record and discussion this evening, I move to approve the request for Thomas Hollow subdivision concept plan as described in the application materials, as supplemented with additional information attached in the staff report and according to testimony received, and to adopt the proposed findings and orders for signature by the chair or vice chair with the following conditions of approval. There's 3.
You want me to read them, Mark?
Sure.
Okay, recommend, with conditions from the staff, it'll be 1 through 3. Number 1, depict all current and proposed easements and rights of ways located within the subdivision on all subsequent plats, including measurements and instrument numbers when available. Number 2, all subsequent plats shall state open space is within individual lots as separate lots and is deed restricted from further development per Bannock County subdivision ordinance 1997-4, 401.C.3.B. Number 3, all subsequent plats shall state 90 foot by 45 foot easement for fire truck turnaround and a 20,000 gallon underground fire suppression water tank. Do we have a second?
Second.
And then a roll call.
Chad Selenay,
Yes.
Molly Dimick,
Yes.
Crystal Mattson.
Yes.
3-0. And, that's it.
I'd like to see where
Second.
Yeah. Good job there. Yeah, for sure. We're gonna take about 5-minute break. Anybody?
Okay.
So typically,
Is there a pause? Stop streaming?
there's a,
Just click stop.
in your binder,